What's up, y'all? It's Smlz here from Snap Academy, and today I'm going to be ranking every single tech card in Marvel Snap on a tier list. We have every single tech card in the game, so let's get right into it. First up, Alioth. Now, Alioth is pretty good. He did get nerfed to 6'8", but in general, I still think he is definitely not a bad tech card, but he's no longer like the premier 6 cost. Well, he is the premier 6 cost tech card by virtue of being the only one, but he's no longer like such a premier finisher in these decks. And some people are looking to maybe cut him from Arishem in these open deck in these closed deck list formats like Ladder. So I'm gonna put him in fair. I don't think he's overwhelmingly strong. However, I do think it's definitely still a strong card and something you consider putting in your deck. Armor. Next, armor is definitely seeing a tick up because of the high prevalence of Destroy. However, Destroy is kind of ticked down a little bit again with the really prevalence of some other tech cards that we'll talk about later. So I'm going to put armor in poor. I don't think it is necessarily you're throwing if you're running it, but I do not think it is a very good tech card. Now on to Caiera, and this is one that you're definitely throwing if you're playing in it. I think that Caiera is a horrible card. She is too slow to protect valuable 1-drops in a lot of scenarios, and most of the time she's just a 3-4 dead draw. She only really protects against cards like Shang-Chi and Killmonger, and we'll get to where those cards are ranked. Next up is Cannonball, and Cannonball's just an excellent tech card. He's really strong. He's got a ton of usage. Mercury Cannonball is one of the most efficient removal packages, if not the most efficient removal package in the entire game. So I'm going to rate Cannonball in this top tier of excellent. I think he's really, really good. Same thing with Cosmic Ghost Rider. Both these guys 5'6". They don't have a lot of stats on them, but their effects are so powerful and can swing games that both of them are definitely at the minimum playable, if not very strong. Next up, it comes to Cobra, and you're not throwing if you run Cobra due to the prevalence of Victoria Hand in decks like the Zombie Horde. However, I would put Cobra in poor. I don't think he's that strong, and although he does have a few specific niche use cases, I overall am not the biggest fan of him. Meanwhile, Cosmo is just a straight up good tech card. It is not excellent. It's not like meta defining like a Cannonball or Cosmic Ghost Rider, but it's still pretty good and I'd still play it a lot. Next up, Danger. 4 cost activate. You need to have an Omega Sentinel line of text for that to be powerful. 4 cost activate. I'm sorry, this is throwing. I expected the card to be a lot better than it turned out. Overall, I think Danger is pretty weak as a card. The fact that you need to get it out on 1 or 2 turns in the game makes it really restrictive, and it doesn't have the same power in the effect as something like a Thing's First Steps does either. Next up is Echo. Echo's a fair tech card right now. There's a lot of ongoing combo. She's really easy to slot in your deck by virtue of costing 1, and she has a powerful effect. I mean, as long as you have priority, she'll stop all ongoings from happening in her lane. That's strong. A lot of Moonstones around right now. A lot of Iron Mans around right now with the introduction of Noir. Pretty good tech card. I think she's very underrated, and she's doing pretty well. Elektra is poor right now. These two kind of ebb and flow, Echo and Elektra. Elektra, I think, is poor largely because there's no good hits for her right now. I guess you can hit an Echo if you're playing an ongoing deck, but in general, I think Elektra is a pretty poor tech card right now, although she can go up as high as good in metas that are really good for her, like the previous end of turn meta earlier this year. Enchantress is a fair tech card. 5'8" is just good baseline body for a tech card, although she does have quite a high cost to include in her decks, and I frankly think Echo's the better ongoing tech right now, just because it can more easily stop other cards like Victoria Hand as well, and it also fits more easily into multiple decks. Enchantress is still definitely a good card, but I probably wouldn't put her above fair right now. Now, it's Gambit. Gambit's going in excellent. He's a tech card for discard decks, and he's the only real interaction that those decks have, so automatically he's probably at least fair because of how powerful that effect is. But we're in a meta right now where a lot of decks are specifically reliant on these early interaction pieces. Zombies, very reliant on Zombie Scarlet Witch. You have these other decks like Jocasta, that's very, very reliant. Gambit's extremely strong against that. Ongoing decks, Gambit's extremely strong against that. Gambit is in a very good spot right now, and honestly, if we're in a meta where the board isn't getting filled, Gambit's probably a pretty good choice. Next up is Ghost. I don't think I need to say any more. This card just does not work as a tech card. It should cost 2. It's way too narrow to even be applicable in my opinion. Now is Goose. I don't think Goose is throwing just because of Cerebro 2, but I definitely think you can call Goose a poor tech card. She really only goes in Cerebro 2 to protect Cerebro from threats like Cosmic Ghost Rider and Enchantress. I don't think she's very good. Now, Gorgon. Gorgon is not throwing, especially right now. I actually think Gorgon's a fair tech card right now. There's a lot of Arishem out there, a lot of Victoria Hand out there. Gorgon is extremely effective against both of those decks. Messes up their curve, specifically Arishem. This is crippling against an Arishem deck. And in general, I think Gorgon is a pretty good card right now. She ebbs between like fair and poor quite often. I would put her in fair right now, but in like a week or so, she could easily go back down to being poor. Next up is Juggernaut. I don't even know if you can count this guy as a tech card because of how widely applicable he is with this new philosophy of tech being narrow. Juggernaut's an excellent card. He'll continue being excellent for probably a very long time. He's been excellent since the game released. Killmonger is good. He is not on the same level as that top tier of cards that can just win games off of their ability. Although he kind of can, there's not a lot of great hits for him right now, but I wouldn't call Killmonger anything less than good. He's a 3/3 global effect. A lot of decks do end up playing like a 1-drop, so most of the time this guy's at least getting the value of like a 3/5, 3/6, 3/7, with the upside of just destroying. Like you play against Bounce and you win, and you play against the Sunspot deck and he plays for a 3/13. It's kind of ridiculous, and I think he's pretty good. Same thing with Lady Deathstrike. I'm going to put her in good. Not quite as good as Cosmic Ghost Rider right now, just because Cosmic Ghost Rider has that ability to turn off the zombie deck, which is extremely powerful. However, she just demolishes, activate, all that stuff. She is still a very good tech card. I don't think I need to say much about Leech. He's horrible. He has been since he got reverted to this state, and he's just not a good card. Legion is good right now. Because of the prevalence of Merlin, I can't call him excellent because Merlin is the superior location control card, which I'm going to get into right now. Merlin's S tier. But I think Legion is still really good for all those scam potential, and while I don't think he's excellent in that very top tier of tech cards, I think he's absolutely close to the top of this good tier. Now on to Merlin, who we kind of skipped to. Merlin has anti-clog tech, which has gotten less important with Debris rework. However, he still has that location change, and it's a 1/2 location change by playing a 2/3 that's giving you upside anyways. Yeah, this guy is so strong. He is the best location tech card in the entire game, and he also provides value outside of that, so I don't really know how I can put this card at anything less than excellent, and probably the top of excellent at that. Now Luke Cage. Luke Cage is a fair tech card. He's just decent. He's the reason Cerebro is consistent at all. He kind of stops a lot of stuff. He can stop an Omega Sentinel. He can stop Hazmat. He can really do a lot of damage against your opponent if they're playing an Affliction strategy. So I think Luke Cage is definitely going to reside in this fair tier. And I definitely don't think he's good though, but he's better than all the cards in poor tier. So this is kind of really the only place I can put him. Mercury. Mercury is... a lot of decks run her, so you might think she's excellent. I actually think she's only good. The only reason these decks run her is to counter the move matchup, just because of how oppressive it is. She's a tech card that does her job extremely, extremely well. However, as just a tech card, like the power in the card, I think she's good. She kind of swings only one matchup by herself, but that one matchup is so crucial that I had to put her in good. If move was in more of a balanced state, she'd probably go down to fair, but I don't think I can justify putting her in excellent just because I don't think that her like widely applicable, like all the cards in the top tier can have their applications in multiple matches. Jug doesn't care about what matchup unless it's like hella. Merlin applicable like everywhere. Gambit is applicable in a ton of matchups relying on the early scalers. Cosmic Ghost Rider is great against zombies, great against activate, great against move, great against a ton of decks. And Cannonball is just extremely versatile and one of the best tech finishers in the entire game. I think Mercury is a tier below. That's just my opinion. 2/2 Mercury would have definitely gone in the top tier because 2/2 Mover is baseline, not even terrible. 3-4 mover baseline is pretty bad, so I gotta put Mercury down here. Mobius is fair right now. I can't put him in poor just because of how strong the effect is, but he's also not that good right now. So I gotta put him in fair. He is still, as always, a strong card. However, I can't really say he deserves to be in one of the top 2 tiers. Negasonic is probably at the top of fair right now. I think Negasonic is definitely still strong, but when I look at the cards in excellent and good, I find myself ranking Negasonic below them. Just not quite a big fan of her right now, at least. Although she has some good matchups. The fact that Supergiant is not as strong as it once was due to the rise of stuff like Aerishem makes Negasonic a good bit worse, though she could easily ebb and flow into good and excellent pretty soon. Nocturne, or I mean, you're not throwing by running her because it's a 3-4 that changes locations and moves, but she's not great. Really only in poor because of Cerebro 4, although I think that she is better than all the cards in throwing, and probably one of the better cards in good just because of that Cerebro 4. Quake is good. Just 2-3 location change. It's good. Location scam in a sense because you're flipping them. You're not even just changing them, so you're sort of siphoning a benefit to where you'll be more beneficial than your opponent. I think Quake is better than Scarlet Witch right now, who I'll rank right now in fair. Merlin is just a way better Scarlet Witch in my opinion, so I'm putting him in excellent and Scarlet Witch in fair, although there is other use cases where you do want the Scarlet Witch over the Merlin. They're few and far between. Quake is kind of in the middle. I don't think it's as powerful as that 1-cost location change, but I definitely think it's better than a 2-cost location change like Scarlet Witch, whose really only use case over Quake in my opinion is that Limbo stuff. Red Guardian is good. He has a lot of good hits, early skillers in the meta, yada yada yada. He is quite strong. Rogue is fair. I want to put him in the good tier. Put her in the good tier, but she's fair. She's a decent tech card, not terrible, but also she's not as good as any of these guys. Like, not on the same level of a Killmonger, a Red Guardian, of a Quake, of a Mercury. He's not on that level. Sandman is throwing. He is just poor. He's not very strong at all right now. I think he's quite weak. And in general, I think this guy really needs a buff. He doesn't really do his job very well of stopping your opponent from playing a lot of cards because he's just so weak himself that your opponent will likely take such a large advantage on turn 5. I think that this card needs some love. Shadow King is up here. My pick for probably one of the 3 best cards in the game right now. I think Shadow King, Merlin, and Juggernaut are kind of a tier above the rest of this S tier, just because of how strong their abilities are. Shadow King hits like everything in this meta. You want to be a Shadow King deck, or you want to be like a deck that puts up such big numbers and forces your opponent to have Shadow King. Shang is throwing right now. He's just bad. Not much else I can say. Is it conditional 413? I would rather just play something that's going to get more value like Shadow King, who is unconditionally a 3-4, which is bad, but not like unplayable. Like, I can't play this card to the field type of stats. Shang has those unplayable. I can't play this card to the field type of stats. So, yeah, and also Shadow King can often play for like pretty much as much power as a Shang-Chi for 1 less cost. Snowguard is poor. Definitely not throwing on the same level as those tech cards, but she's not great. I think she's on a similar level to cards like Cobra and Nocturne. Spider-Ham is fair. I mean, like, removing the text is good. It's a strong effect. Problem is, you really want to draw this guy on 1. If you don't draw him on 1, he gets progressively worse turn after turn. So, in general, I think that this guy, he's fair. He's one of the better ones in fair, but I don't think I can place him on that level with, like, the Killmonger and the Legion and the Mercury yet. Adaptoid is throwing. He is too narrow to be useful. It's sort of the Ghost problem, although he has it a little bit less because his effect, I think, is slightly stronger, and he has F3-5. He's definitely at the top of the throwing tier, but I still think he's throwing. Skrull. Where did I put Skrull? I'd probably put Skrull right above Adaptoid in throwing. I mean, there's very specific metas where he's good, but in general, this is like a hot location card if it's going to be like an Onslaught Citadel. Uatu is throwing. You will run locations, and it's best to tech for them with something like a Merlin or a Scarlet Witch or even a Quake. And Uatu, just not very good. It's a 1-2 dead draw. when you draw him, he's just effectively a Misty Knight, and you don't want to run that in your 12 card deck. Valkyrie is probably in fair. This is the best she's been in a while. She's essentially a way more effective Shang-Chi, although she costs one more. And in general, I think she's pretty good. There's some like Patriot Ultron Valkyrie stuff. That's something you got to be worried about. But in general, I think Valkyrie is a decent card. Definitely not a good tech card, but I think she's definitely earned her spot in fair. Probably one of the worst ones in fair, but I definitely think she's still there.